Yeah, this is Point Black, coming in hard and off the card and coming with the flow of the barrio. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one, this is what we must do, and this is where we're going with it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make sure that we understand everything that's going on based on this Ukraine situation. We see where the funding for Ukraine is becoming the same thing as same trick George W. Bush donkey ass Jr. pulled on the United States. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna make sure that we understand where we stand in this situation. Now let's go. We're gonna, without further ado, let's listen to the great Josh Hawley. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest, one of the great senators. You know, a logical overstanding, straight up for the American people, and bringing out fire. So without further ado, before we go into any comments, any talk, let's get to it.
Senator, could you come to the camera?
Okay, very briefly.
Thank you.
Yes.
Not to interrupt just the
No, go
conversation
ahead.
you were just having, but did anything that you learned in there change your perspective on Ukraine aid? You've
No.
been pretty outspoken.
No, it did not. Listen, what I heard in there, let me just, choose my words carefully, given that it was a classified briefing. But I'll just say this. I mean, if there's a path, if there's some path to victory in Ukraine, I didn't hear it today. And I also heard that there was going to be no end to the funding requests. So I think this latest request for, what is it, $24 billion? That is not the end. They made that very clear. It's not close to the end. So I would just say what we're basically told is buckle up and get out your checkbook. Of course, it's not our checkbook. And can I just say, by the way, I'm sick and tired of hearing all of these people in that room for the administration applaud Congress for being so generous. This isn't our money. For heaven's sake. It's not we're not being generous. It's the American people's money. And they spent $115 billion of it. And so far they have basically nothing to show for it. And they're going to ask for a heck of a lot more. $24 billion is not the end. Not even close.
So what
to the
happens
end.
if Congress doesn't help them with what they need?
Well, hopefully, number one, our European allies will actually do something. And they just confirmed to us again that we have spent more than all of Europe combined. I mean, last I looked, Russia was in Europe. So we need our European allies to step up to the plate here, and Germany in particular. We can start with them and do more. But that's not the message they're sending. The message they're sending is the American people are on the hook indefinitely. So let's have no more applause for Congress spending other people's money. They should go to the American people and just level with them and say, we want 50, 100 billion more, maybe more than that.
Are you going to attend? Some of the Republicans, they're saying that essentially withdrawing the assistance we're giving to Ukraine would amount to worse than what happened when the Biden administration withdrew from Afghanistan. What's your response to that?
Here's what I think you could do. Go through and listen to take all these comments about what would happen if we didn't keep spending the American people's money. Take out Ukraine, insert Iraq, or insert Afghanistan, and you would get exactly what George W. Bush said for years, and other people after him, about why we have to stay indefinitely in those countries and keep spending money indefinitely with no oversight, by the way. And at the end of the day, very little to show for it. It's the same recycled arguments. I don't know why we have to go through this again.
Iraq seems a little bit different than Russia.
How? The arguments aren't any different. It's the same argument over and over. Listen, I just listened to them say, for our standing in the world, we must keep spending this money. Literally. For our standing in the world. I mean, that's now what we're spending money on? For our standing in the world?
Do you plan to
Mark
attend?
Kelly mentioned at a pen and pad today that after the war is over, there may be a need for a Marshall Plan-esque,
Yeah, right.
spending to
No doubt.
rebuild the country. What do you make of that?
Oh, yeah, that'll be next. We're talking, that's what I mean. They want $24 billion now, many more billions over the next year. It just said that. And then they'll want, on top of that, who knows how much. Now listen, here's what I did today. I just stood out on the steps of the Capitol today with people from my state and around the country who are exposed to nuclear radiation by the federal government, and they haven't gotten a penny from their government. Not a penny for 70 years. And you want me to go spend their money, $100 billion more on Ukraine, and they can't even get basic health care because they've been poisoned by their government with military operations? that infuriates me, to be honest with you.
Are you concerned at all that pulling out of Ukraine, pulling aid away from Ukraine, could then send a bad message to China, to President Xi?
No, I think the message that we need to send. Listen, the way to deter China is to deter China, and you have to do that in the Pacific. Ukraine is not in the Pacific, so our number one national security threat is China. Right now, we are out of position. If China invades Taiwan tomorrow, we are not in a position to stop it. And I think we've got to tell the truth to the American people. If they invade Taiwan, Taiwan falls. I mean, that's just... So if you're not concerned about that, then that's fine. But I am.
Do you plan to attend Zelensky's meeting with senators tomorrow?
I doubt it, although after what I heard today, I'm thinking maybe I should, just because I was so surprised by what I just heard in there about the state of the effort that I thought, maybe I should hear this directly from Zelensky, because what I heard was alarming.
So you want to hear from him?
You got to pay your bills, of course. So, stay right.
What was the process?
So you want to hear from him the status
State of the war effort, I was surprised by what I heard in there about where it is.
Progress.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for him?
Well, I mean, on this side, about the progress. I mean, that was a little different tune that was sung to us there than I've heard sung in public, and it was an alarming one. I'll just say without saying any more.
Senator Hawley,
yeah.
Mitch McConnell has argued that we've gotten a lot for our money, that most of this money has gone to weapons manufacturing in the United States,
Military contractors,
upgrading our own factories, modernizing them, restocking our own arms after we gave them some of our older weapons, and that's actually going to help us and help our own military and provide jobs for Americans. At the same time, he points to Russia's military being degraded on the cheap, because we've spent trillions of dollars to counter the Russian military, and for like $100 billion, we've really helped Ukraine destroy a lot of Russian military equipment and capacity. And he also says, Ukraine is free. That's a victory.
Well, last I looked, Ukraine had a whole bunch of Russian troops in their territory. So we've spent $113 billion. That is not cheap of the American people's money. And frankly, the idea that I'm sure the military contractors are loving this. Oh, no doubt they are. They're making gobs of money. Is that equaling new American jobs? I'd love to see that analysis. I haven't heard any actual numbers. I've heard a lot of happy talk about it. I've also heard from the same people that spending of money in Ukraine is deterring China. I mean, these folks, if they want, they need to make the case for Ukraine. If they have a strategy to win, let's hear it. If they have a strategy to actually end this conflict, let's hear it. But let's not have any more, frankly, misleading comments. Let's not lie to the American people about what we're doing and where we are. Let's not tell them we're winning when we are not. Let's not tell them that Ukraine is winning when it's not. Let's not tell them we're ready to stop China when we are not. They lied to us about Iraq. They lied to us about Afghanistan. I'm frankly tired of having them actively mislead us about Ukraine. I mean, this should stop. These people should stop.
Do you think that they should try to provide the equipment to drive Russian forces entirely out of Ukraine?
No. Should we? No. Absolutely not. No, we should not. I'm totally opposed to putting American troops on the ground. They say they are. But
I'm not talking about troops. I'm saying,
no.
do you think that they should?
No, I think we should. No, we spend $115 billion. What we ought to be doing is getting our force posture where it needs to be in the Pacific vis-a-vis China, where we are badly out of position.
The other argument that's made, including by Mark Kelly, who just came back from Ukraine, is sort of a domino effect argument. That if we pull out of Ukraine,
Like Vietnam.
that they would then be on the doorstep of Poland, they would be emboldened to go after Lithuania and all these other satellite states that used to be part of the Soviet Union.
Well, wait, you just said a second ago that their military is significantly degraded. So how are they going to, it's one or the other, right? Either the military is degraded and they're not in position to do that, or they're about to overrun all of Europe. It's not both. So, I mean, I think you should put that question to the folks who say that. I mean, is their military, is it a roaring tiger, or is it degraded? I mean, it's one or the other. So the truth is that the argument always shifts to whatever's at hand to get us to spend more of the American people's money without any strategy for victory. And that's what I just heard down there today. So, listen, I hope I'm wrong, but I better let you guys go.
Are you saying, based on what you heard today, that the American public is being lied to on Ukraine?
I think when you tell the American public that things are going well in Ukraine, that is not the truth. I think when you tell them we are in position in China where we need to be, that is not the truth. When you tell them that doing what we're doing in Ukraine is helping with the China fight, that is not the truth. So I just think we should tell the truth, and that is not the truth. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Sam. That if they
Now, from what we hear in here, you know what I'm saying, as people hacking your phone and listening to shit, I hope you're listening to me clearly. You know what I'm saying? Ukraine don't deserve billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? How do we get these billions of dollars to Ukraine, but there's no money for the American people? You know what I'm saying? So Biden pushed this issue to spend all our money, blowing America's pocket out to feed the fucking oligarch beasts. You know what I'm saying? People like Zelensky and all kinds of oligarch beasts across this land. We have to get them out of our pocket. You know what I'm saying? Creep Joe Biden is a sellout, a complete disgrace to the United States, and have always been, even from the very beginning of him running for office. You know what I'm saying? He has never told the truth, but got nerve to focus on Donald J. Trump, saying that Donald J. Trump lied this, lied that, he's corrupt, this, he's corrupt. So we see, even going back to a Latino coming over here in our government in New Jersey talking about Trump is corrupt and all this different shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you need to Mendez your ass across back that border and tell them corrupt motherfuckers over there to stay the fuck up our country and take the rest of these people that you drove over here with the creep Joe Biden administration, because everything he's doing is to break America's pocket. You know what I'm saying? While we paying for all the bullshit and acting as if like it's all right to spend all this money on this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's speaking about the tragedy of American people being jerked out of their money for some other motherfucker that ain't giving a fuck about our country at all. You know what I'm saying? What does Zelensky care about the United States other than to suck our country dry? He's not even caring one bit, you know what I'm saying? Because all the money is going into corruption over there and this and that. And this is what the creep Joe Biden administration have always been, including Obama, Hillary Clinton, you know what I'm saying? Bill Clinton, his damn self, you know what I'm saying? Slick Willie, and Bush donkey ass jackass Jr. along with his dad. You know what I'm saying? Same thing go for Biden and his creepy ass son. You know what I'm saying? We have to get these people out of our government, out of our pocket, and we have to make America first. We should not even have this conversation, and the war in Ukraine should not be going on. Period. You know what I'm saying? And the withdrawal from Afghanistan, talking about Bush, talking about we got to be there indefinitely. Who the fuck gave these people the right to tell us some shit like that? Meanwhile, we got to protest and all this bullshit in order to get shit from happening this way. America, you got to wake up. You know what I'm saying? There is no way that a creepy-ass Joe, I don't give a fuck what president it is. He should be tried on the Universal Court for treason against the United States, even implementing a vaccination program that took the lives of many people, and his bullshit. Don't give me that bull. I don't want to hear no creepy ass shit from nobody no more. You know what I'm saying? Because like Doc Rich said, when did Trump come so corruptive? You know what I'm saying? He wasn't that before. Everybody was shaking his hand, loving Trump, all this and the third and the fourth. Soon as he became a Republican and running for presidency, all of a sudden, he became the most corrupt man in the whole wide world. Yeah, right. Like it wasn't corrupt before. But you have these dumbass Negroes who was out there for years supporting the Democratic Party, driving the black people's mind, which had majority of the vote, you know what I'm saying, into voting for them and keeping them in office for 40, 50, 60 years while they brought war, destruction, chemicalized biological attack on the black community and many other people across the planet, even funding, you know what I'm saying, Israel, and Israel is a fake. It's not a country at all because it's in Egypt and it was an invasion. It was built in 1937 or 1935. So Israel is not the Holy Land, and it's not what they say it is. The Holy Land that's just their biblical psychological mind frame that they want to drive your mind to believe that they're more holy. So they wrote a Bible, you know what I'm saying, and manipulated the Bible to fit the narrative to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, Israel, you know, is looked at this way, but it was the Bible read it in a way that they wrote the fake Bible in a way to make Israel, you know what I'm saying, the holy city, but it's not, because how can it be? And it's in Egypt. Have anybody looked that up? You know what I'm saying? And look at where it is. You know what I'm saying? That's Africa. Just because the land, you know, is a little bit broke, that don't make no difference. You know what I'm saying? Because if you remove the water, the land still connects. So what the hell is you talking about? So they built that there, and then they also had a 3-day-old war that caused the lives of millions of people, including millions of Palestinians, you know what I'm saying, and Africans as well, driving them away from the land. That is what the transatlantic slave trade was all about. You know what I'm saying? And who helped them to do it? The Arabs. Removing the Africans from Egypt and that area, pushing them into the transatlantic slave trade and bringing them over here while they built that place in 1937, talking about a holy city to give them the right to have a reason to say they're there. But the holy city is not real. It's just an invasion, and they wrote a Bible to make you believe that that is true. You know what I'm saying? Same thing they did with Mecca. Mecca is not a holy city. It's a invasion also, and it's also built in the 1930s. So I don't know where to keep on telling these people about some holy this and holy that. Now we go back to Ukraine and we look at Ukraine, and Ukraine is in the old Russian territory, the old Soviet Union. And I don't know why they keep bringing up that tyrant Stalin, because he was no more than a goddamn tyrant. And we ain't going to celebrate no tyrants no more. We washing them out and we getting them out of our head, out of our mind, and out of our psyche. We're not going for that bullshit anymore. You know what I'm saying? And meanwhile, America is sending money to Israel, knowing full well that that's an invasion into Africa's territory, Egypt itself, giving them the right to sit there and protect that area, raid it, kill, and all types of shit going on. Same thing that is causing the conflict in Ethiopia, while the Arabians are killing the refugees running from the conflict that they caused. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me that bullshit. As long as we keep on justifying the murder and the killing of people on this planet Earth by the minds and the minds of lying ass, crooked ass son of a bitches, we're going to continue down this road. So we have to change the narrative and make sure that we understand the historical psyche that they use to have the position that they have today, which is no more than a lie. You know what I'm saying? Same go for Zelensky. He ain't no more than a crooked ass son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And he, along with creepy Joe Biden and them, has now put our country in this position. But meanwhile, the gas prices are flying off the roof. The farmers are not being supported. The mentally ill, the homeless veterans, and many other people are still in trouble. But he's still talking about sending, and I have already sent zillions of dollars, and talking that we were not going to be involved in this war. But he, creep Joe Biden, is the one that caused that war in the first place. So you better wake the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Because we know ain't nothing but a fraud and a part-time broad. You know what I'm saying? Same go for the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? So this is Point Black saying the great Josh Hawley has now dropped the fire and holy desire. You know what I'm saying? You tell me.